शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। स्वरूपानुसंधानम श्लोक 1। तपोयज्ञदानादिभिः शुद्धबुद्धिः विरक्तो नृपादेः पदे तुच्छबुद्ध्या परित्यज्य सर्वं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं परं ब्रह्म नित्यन्तदेवाहमस्मि। The first half of this shloka is talking about adhikaritva. Who is an adhikari? And how to become an adhikari is explained. Tapoyajnadanadibhihi is the means to become an adhikari. Shuddha buddhihi विरक्तो नृपादेः पदे तुच्छबुद्ध्या is the description of an adhikari. An adhikari is shuddha buddhi. He has a pure mind. Also, he has sadhana chatushtaya, which is indicated by vairagya. Nripadev pade viraktah. He has vairagya towards everything. Now this adhikari what he has to do? There is an important thing in the pursuit of moksha. It is tyaga. Tyagenaike amritattvamanashuhu. We have seen in Kaivalyopanishad. Tyagenaike amritattvamanashuhu. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः. त्याग is a very important sadhana, an inevitable sadhana for moksha. Without tyaga, moksha is not possible. Without leaving the lower step, you cannot get into the higher step. You cannot climb onto the higher step. If you have to go to the higher step, you have to leave the lower step. It is very much true. Even when you climb up the stairs, you do tyaga, 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 tyaga. How much tyaga we do every day. As many steps you climb, so much of tyaga you do. All of us do tyaga. When it comes to climbing up the steps. Likewise, if we have to attain moksha, we need to do tyaga. Moksha is Atma Prapti. We will see this later on. Atma Prapti. You attain the Atma. If you have to attain the Atma, you have to give up the Anatma. Without giving up the Anatma, one cannot attain the Atma. Therefore, Parityajya sarvam yadapnoti tattvam. Third quarter of the shloka. Parityajya sarvam. Parityajya. Giving up. Tyaga. What is giving up? Should you throw away everything? Throwing away is not possible. Because what you have to give up is sarvam, everything. Sarvam parityajya. What do you have to give up? The author himself says, Sarvam parityajya. You have to give up everything. Meaning all anatma. Sarvam includes all anatma. It includes our relatives, son, daughter, grandson. Most often we hold on to our relatives. As long as we hold on to the relatives, we remain related. And if we remain related, we cannot own up the unrelated, the asanga. Holding on to relations. Relations are anatma. Property, wealth, anatma. Our social status, name and fame, anatma. Our own body, anatma. Even the body is anatma. Mind is anatma. Intellect is anatma. Therefore, sarvam includes even our body and mind. You have to give up everything. All anatma. Throwing away is not possible. I cannot throw away my body. I cannot throw away my mind. It's not possible. And it is not desirable also. Because the body and mind are the sadhana, the means for getting jnana. I cannot throw them away. Then what is tyaga? Giving up of the identification. Abhimana tyaga. We have identifications. With the things outside our body, we identify as mine, my computer, my house, my son, my daughter, my grandson, my identification. Then, starting from our body and inwards, body, mind, senses, and all the attributes associated with them, we have I identification. I am this body. I am man. I am a woman. I am Mr. So and so. It is also an identification with the anatma. Identification with an identity that is associated with the body. It is identification with the anatma, body. With the mind, we identify. With our intellect, we identify. I am very intelligent. with our career. I have done PhD. We identify. I am very intelligent. High IQ. Some people tell me I have very high intelligence. Therefore, Vedanta is not for me. It is for people with low IQ. Someone told me the high IQ is a problem. The high IQ identification doesn't allow this person to pursue moksha. In the next Janma, perhaps he will be born with a little less IQ. Then he will pursue moksha. The identification with the Anatma is the one which should be given up. That is Tyaga. The total Tyaga will happen with the Jnana. Without Jnana, total Tyaga is not possible. Because until you get Jnana, there will be some identification with the body, with the mind, and with things outside as well. Yet, one has to prepare even before getting Jnana. Because without the preparatory Tyaga, Jnana will not take place. Prepare yourself for Jnana. It includes Tyaga, giving up of identification with one's possession and relations. That is why we have a sannyasa, vividisha sannyasa. Vividisha means desire to get jnana. Veditum ichha vividisha. With the desire to get jnana, I take sannyasa. As a preparation for jnana. When I take sannyasa, I minimize my possessions. A sannyasi has hardly any possessions, minimum possessions. And he gives up all relations. A sannyasi has no relations, no relatives. That is why you generally don't ask a sannyasi? Are you married? Do you have children? Sometimes people ask me, are you married or single? If they don't know the culture, they get these questions. Do you have children? Do you have brothers and sisters? Do you have parents? I have given up everything. No more relations. And you give up your identity also. A sannyasi does not identify himself as a Mr. So and so, belonging to a particular family. He doesn't say that. And he doesn't even put his degree, MA, PhD. It is an effort to be free from the identification with the Anatma. A preparation to be free, freedom to be free from the identification with the Anatma. Vividisha sannyasa. Parityajya sarvam. And now, the people in front of me might ask, we are not sannyasis. Should we take sannyasa? Yes, even you should take sannyasa if you want jnana. You may not take sannyasa externally, but you should take sannyasa internally. At least make an effort to be free from the identification. This is mine, this is mine. Instead of saying this is mine, just say this belongs to Ishvara. My son belongs to Ishvara. My grandson belongs to Ishvara. My house belongs to Ishvara. And I don't possess it. Even my body belongs to Ishvara. I don't possess this body also. This attitude will serve as a preparation, as a vividisha sannyasa. Parityajya sarvam. Giving up everything. यदाप्नोति तत्त्वम् तत्त्वम् आपनोति. This adhikari gets a jnana through proper sadhana. We will see the sadhana in the next verse. Through proper sadhana, he gets a jnana. Then he attains the tattva. Tattvam apnoti. Apnoti, attains, gets. Prapti. Prapti means attainment. You get the Brahman. You get the Atma. But how can one get the Atma? To get something, it should be away from us. We can get something which we don't have already. How can you get something which you already have? In fact, Atma is already within. You are Atma. How can you get the Atma? There are two types of getting. The first one is apraptasya prapti. Getting something which you don't have. Apraptasya prapti. And the second type of getting, praptasya praptihi. You get what you already have. We can easily understand apraptasya praptihi. Getting what I don't have, I can easily understand. I don't have money and someone gives me money, then I can say, I got money. Apraptasya prapti. I didn't have it, I got it. But how to understand praptasya prapti? Getting what you already have. We have an example. Kantha chami karavat. Like kantha chami kara. Choker. There is an ornament called choker. It is a special type of necklace which you wear very close to your neck. And it is not visible to you. It is visible to others. You are wearing choker, but you cannot see the beauty of your choker. Only the other people can see your choker. This lady is wearing a choker. After some time, she is searching for her choker in her house. And she told everyone, I lost my choker. Where have I kept it? She searched in the locker. It is not there. She searched in the restroom. It is not there. She searched on her bed. It is not there. And she started weeping and wailing. I lost the most expensive choker. My mother gifted it to me during my wedding. And she started suspecting her workers, maid. Did you take it? Did you take it? There was a big fuss in the house. Then a neighbor hears the fuss. Something is going on in this house. Lot of shouting and weeping. And the neighbor comes and asks this lady, what happened? Then the lady weeps and says, I lost my choker. I don't know where I have kept it. I don't know who has taken it. Then this neighbor says, you will get it. The lady asks, where? When? The neighbor says, now and here. You will get it now and here. How? Just see yourself in the mirror. You will find it. Then this lady goes in front of the mirror and looks at herself. Then she sees the choker is on her neck. Then she exclaims, I got my choker. Kanthachami karaha praptaha. Kanthachami karaha praptaha. The choker is attained. The choker is found. Did she really find it? To find it, you should lose it. She has not lost it. It was on her neck. She has not lost it. It was always prapta. Therefore, she has not even found it in reality. It is as though found. This is called praptasya prapti. Already prapta. It was always there. and as though prapta, as though found, as though lost and as though found. It is possible because of ignorance. The lady thought it is lost because of ignorance. Ajnanena apraptaha iva. Because of ignorance, it was as though lost. And with the knowledge, it was as though found. Jnanena praptaha iva. Ajnanena apraptaha iva san jnanena prapta iva. Kanthachamikaraha. Tathaiva atma. Likewise the atma. It is always there. Never away from you, never distanced from you. But the ignorance, because of ignorance, as though lost, as though absent. With the knowledge, it is as though prapta, as though attained, and that is apnoti. Tattvam apnoti. He attains, he gets, means as though gets. Apnoti iva. What does he get? Tattvam. He gets the tattva. What is tattva? Tattva means the truth, the reality. Atma is the reality. In various philosophies, they have tried to understand the tattva. When you try to understand the tattva, it becomes a tattvajnana, tattva shastra, philosophy. The Indian word for philosophy is tattva shastra. The search for truth. And we have various philosophers. There is a philosophy called Sankhya. According to Sankhya, there are 25 tattvas. 25 tattva. Panchavimshati tattva. Panchavimshati tattvani. According to Sankhya. But if we understand properly, the Vedanta, there is only one tattva. The Vedanta talks of only one tattva. There is only one reality. Everything else is atattva, non-real, unreal. What is the one tattva? Brahman, Param Brahma. Brahma is the tattva. The word Brahma is derived from a Sanskrit root, Brihi Vriddhau. Brihi Vriddhau. Briha means to grow, to become big. Briha plus man becomes Brahman. The basic word is Brahman. It is neuter. If you decline it, in Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana, in first case singular, it becomes a Brahma, not a Brahma, Brahma. But the basic word is Brahman. Brahman becomes a Brahma. That is why in English we call it Brahman. But if you look into the book, you will find Brahma. Brahma means the big. The big. Generally, the word big is relative. Big mosquito. When you say big mosquito, it is not as big as a small cat. The big mosquito is smaller than a small cat. Big mountain. It should be very big. So the word big is not used independently. It is used as an adjective to something. Big ant, big cat, big tiger, big man, big table, big house. Now you will see how the big varies, how the size of the big varies. Big mosquito, big cat, big tiger, big table, big house, big mountain. The size of the big also becomes bigger and smaller. The big becomes big and small. When we use it with any given word, you have to see the following word to understand how big it is. But when you say big, without any word next to it. The big is not relative. There is nothing to limit the big. When there is nothing to limit the big culminates in infinity. Without restriction, the big culminates in infinity. Therefore, the big, Brahman means infinite, limitless, free from all limitations. We have three kinds of limitations: Desha Paricheda, Kala Paricheda, and Vastu Paricheda. Desha Paricheda, limitation in terms of space. Kala Paricheda, limitation in terms of time. And Vastu Paricheda, limitation in terms of being a given object. An object is generally has Desha Paricheda. For example, this table, it has Desha Paricheda. That means it is there in one space, it is not there in another place. It is not there in all places. It is there in some place and it is not there in some other place. That means it has Desha Paricheda. Likewise, Kala Paricheda. The table was not there at a given point of time. And then the table comes into being. And then when you demolish the table, destroy the table is not there. The table's existence, the table's presence is confined to a time between 2 points. It exists between 2 points of time. Kala Paricheda. It is time bound. And Vastu Paricheda. The table has Vastu Paricheda also, because it is just a table. It is confined being a table. The table is not the chair. The table is not the computer. The table is not the human being. It is just a table. It is not so many other things. It is not anything other than the table. That means it is confined being a table. This is Vastu Paricheda. In fact, samsara can be explained in terms of Vastu Parichya. I am just me, just a Mr. So and so. That means I am not so many other people. I am not Bill Gates. I am not Bill Clinton. I am not Modi. Then who are you? I am a Swami. Just a Swami. But then there are big Swamis. I am not even a big Swami. Confined to be a given name and form. I am not like others. Everyone else looks happier. Everyone else looks more successful in their lives. Everyone else looks more fulfilled in their lives. And we keep comparing ourselves. When we compare, we complain. Comparing and complaining go together. That is samsara. Vastu Paricheda. Even if you remove Desha Paricheda and Kala Paricheda, just Vastu Paricheda is enough to explain the problem of samsara. So, 3 Parichedas: Desha Paricheda, Kala Paricheda, and Vastu Paricheda. Brahman is free from these 3 Parichedas. Trividha Paricheda Shunyaha. The word Shunya is problem. Trividha Paricheda Vinirmuktaha. Free from 3 Parichedas. Trividha Paricheda Vinirmuktaha is Brahman. The word Brahman itself implies this: free from all limitations. So, Tattvam is Brahman. With this jnana, you attain the Tattva, the Brahman. Why should I attain Brahman? Why should I get Brahman? Is it worth getting? Is Brahman worth getting? Is Brahman worth pursuing? A Vedanti will tell you that Brahman is the only thing worth pursuing. Why is it so? Because Brahman is the Purushartha. That is what everyone seeks, knowingly or unknowingly. What do you seek? You can ask an ordinary person who doesn't even know Vedanta, who doesn't even know Brahman. You can ask him, what does he seek in life? He may say, I seek money, I seek a foreign tour, I seek a family, and so on and so on. Friend. There are many people who seek friend because they don't have friends. Friend, partner, family, wealth. People seek so many things. Job. You ask him, why do you seek these things? Why do you seek job? Why do you seek a friend? Then he says, I want to be happy. I want happiness. I don't need a friend who cannot give me happiness. I don't need a family which cannot give me happiness. Therefore, what I really seek is happiness. You may seek it through friend. You may seek it through family. You can seek it through a holiday. But what you seek is only one thing, happiness. People are not clear about this. That is why they get into trouble. If they know what I need is happiness, they will think twice before doing certain things. But they think, I want just this friend, I want just family, I want just to go to a foreign country. And sometimes they get into problem. Everyone seeks only one thing, happiness. It is universally true. If you seek something, it is happiness. And what kind of happiness do you want? Do you want a temporary happiness? No. I want permanent happiness. Nitya Sukha. Permanent happiness. Nityam. Then what? Do you want a surpassable happiness or do you want an unsurpassable happiness? Surpassable means you are happy, but someone is happier. A lesser happiness. Or you want the greatest happiness. Greatest means It is unsurpassable. We want unsurpassable happiness. Niratishayam sukham. Unsurpassable happiness. Only when you get unsurpassable, you don't look for more. Otherwise, ye dil mange more. Anything surpassable, ye dil mange more happens. It's not a good advertisement. I don't know whether it is there now. It was there a few years back, I think. Ye dil mange more. I don't know what it is. Pepsi. What's it? I don't know. If you say, I want more, all happiness is gone. Therefore, what you need is unsurpassable. Niratishayam. And Niratishayam is called Param. Param means Niratishayam. The Nityam Niratishayam Sukham is nothing but Brahman. And everyone is seeking Nityam Niratishayam Sukham. It has to be Brahman. It is not anything other than Brahman. Therefore, Brahman is the only thing worth pursuing, worth attaining. Once you attain Brahman, you don't seek anything more. Therefore, what you seek is Brahman. Param Brahma Nityam. The word Param Nityam, unsurpassable and permanent, eternal, indicate that it is the Purushartha. It is the goal of all human beings. The goal, the sought, what everyone seeks. And who is this? It is not outside you. It is yourself. Tadeva aham asmi. I am that. The seeker and the sought are one. The sought is not different from the seeker. When this is understood, the seeking culminates. The seeking comes to an end. The seeking comes to an end when the seeker understands that he is the sought. Tadevahamasmi. Tadeva Brahma. The same Brahman. अहम अस्मि, I am that. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति।